Good evening, guys, and welcome to another weekly review. This week, three trades, two break-evens, and one minus one. Let's start with the first one, New Zealand dollar Swiss. As usual, we're going to start on the monthly. And what can I see on the monthly? I can see that previous month we have closed above this monthly IC, and we created an inverse head and shoulder pattern. And very most importantly, we respected the monthly inverse head and shoulder pattern. Now, this candle you have to ignore because this candle is still open. So we have to look at the previous monthly candle. So as you can see, it still respected the zone. So my bias on the monthly is long, but I need to see some confirmation on the weekly. And what did I have last week? Also forecasted on the Sunday market breakdown. I have here the Bullish gem. One, two, three, four. I have in that Bullish gem an inverse head and shoulder. And what can I also see? That we broke or that we created a new higher high. We have higher, lower low, lower low, and lower high. And then here we created a break of structure. So we have a Bullish gem with a break of structure. We have an inverse head and shoulder, has not been respected yet, but we are currently operating at our um, weekly Bullish gem on our 100th zone. So I will mark out my zone, my weekly supply and demand zone, and I can immediately go to the 4 hour. Now, what happened on the 4 hour? What do we see? We see that the price took lots of liquidity and created this move, and we have an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So place my limit for our box, long position, stop loss under the head, round it off, and here plus 5 pips for the 90, and then we trade towards the daily first structure because the daily is against us. And what was also very interesting now that we're here on the daily, I had a beautiful minus 68 FIP completion right here. So there was also confirmation for me to go long on this weekly zone. Now I'll mark out my first daily structure. That's not the one I need. Boom. Daily first. There we go. And this trade was good for 2.4%. Now what happened? We got tapped in and boom, we immediately went to the take profit towards the daily first. Now what did happen when I go a time frame lower, what happened is the price tapped us in, then made this push towards 1%. I went on break even, then the price came back, tapped us out on break even, and then shot straight up to our daily TP. And that's sometimes how the market goes. You know, we had a good bias. The price did exactly what we wanted it to do. We got tapped and immediately to the TP, but along the side, yeah, we went on break even. And price came back, tapped us out, and then went straight for the TP. Then next one on the list, Euro JBP. Starting off on the monthly. Here we go. What can we see was that the price previous week was at this monthly zone. And then we'll put a line on this monthly zone. And then you can see why, for me personally, this is a very interesting region for buyers. Can I see on the monthly? I can see buyers, buyers, sellers, 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 and here I can see buyers. And currently the price, previous week, the price was at this low. So I was always interested in looking for a trade, but I needed some good supply and demand zone on the weekly. We can see on the weekly, previous week, we closed above this weekly low. So this is a phase 3 trade. Also very interesting is good supply and demand. Buyers, sellers, buyers. And here again at this zone here, lots of buying potential. So I can immediately go to the 4 hour. Can I see here an inverse head and shoulder pattern? Shoulder one, the head, shoulder two. So there's my zone of interest. The long position. And then my stop loss, I think, was under this wick. I rounded off this, and I think it was 80. Now it happens, price came back and took a -1. Now, when we look at the technicalities, because I've also obviously reviewed this position, when starting on the weekly, we can see that the price comes very, very impulsively towards our zone. Now, it's important for me, which I haven't done in this trade, is that I need to see the price slow down before we get the reversal pattern or the switch of momentum. What basically happened here is what we call a fake out. So we had an ABC correction. We have a push towards the downside, A, B, C, and boom, the price went more towards the downside. So I did add this to my plan. So next time when I'm trading against a trend and I'm at a weekly low or a weekly high, I need to see a clear switch of momentum. And for me, a switch of momentum is going to be I need to see that the price is making a new lower low, and then we need to break out. So here we didn't get the lower low, we got the same lows. So this was an ABC correction. But yeah, nonetheless, still a very good trade. Also very important, if you take a weekly 4-hour trade, it is very important that you have to be in the first liquidity. And what happened here is that I placed my limits. The price shot completely to the upside, and this normally had to have been an indicator for me to remove my limits. I kept it there anyway, and it became a -1. Nonetheless, good weekly analysis. And then last but not least, we have pound NZD starting on the monthly. What can I see is that we're currently trading at this monthly bullish M. So this monthly bullish M is active at our 100 zone, but the bias for the monthly is long. What can I also see on the monthly is that we have a very beautiful bullish uptrend. So monthly bullish. On the weekly, this candle wasn't here yet. Now what can I see on the weekly? We are still trading higher. We're still making higher highs and higher lows. We have tapped this monthly zone, aligning beautifully with this weekly IC. Weekly zone. We see that the price came correctively towards the zone. So correction, impulse, correction with the trend, switch for momentum. And with that switch of momentum, we had a beautiful inverse head and shoulder. With here, shoulder one, the head, and potentially the shoulder two. Now, I was waiting for my price to come back to the zone, but what's also very interesting is on the daily. On the daily, I can see a bullish M pattern. I draw my fib from the high. Oh, my Fibonacci from the high to the low. We have a daily bullish continuation. So I just wait for my price to come back to the zone. We tapped it, and I went to the 4-hour. And what can I see on the 4-hour? Higher highs, higher highs, higher lows. We have shoulder one, D head, switch of momentum, shoulder two. So I place my limit on the top side of the shoulder, considering we have a 4-hour IC. Stop loss under the head. 370. Boom. TP is daily TP. What happens? I got tapped in. Wait, I think I rounded it off like this. Yes, we got tapped in. Price touched the daily high, fell all the way back to break even, got tapped out. And as you can see what happens, price went all the way up and we managed to hit the daily TP. Now, unfortunately, I was not in the trade anymore because here the price at the daily beginning of the correction, making the trade invalid for me. So we came back, break even out, and then full TP. So yeah, these are all the trades that I took this week, and I see you tomorrow for the Sunday market breakdown.